They said it couldn't be done. They said the ocean was too unstable, too dangerous, too unpredictable to support something as delicate as an airport. They said runways belong on land, not on water. And yet today, massive passenger jets are landing on a runway built entirely in the sea. Off the coast of China, where waves once ruled freely, an impossible structure now exists. A fully operational airport rising from the ocean itself. Not floating as an idea, not existing only in blueprints, but standing, solid, real, and functional. This is the story of how China built a $15 billion runway in the ocean, and why this project may quietly change how the world builds its future. To understand why China attempted something this extreme, we need to understand the pressure it was facing. China ran out of land. By the early 2000s, China's coastal cities were expanding at a pace never seen in human history. Air travel exploded as millions joined the middle class. Global trade surged as China became the world's manufacturing hub. Tourism multiplied year after year. Airports that once felt oversized suddenly became bottlenecks. Cities like Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Tianjin, and Dalian had no space left to expand. Mountains blocked growth inland. Urban sprawl had already consumed everything nearby. Relocating entire neighborhoods for airport expansion became politically risky and economically painful. China faced a choice: slow down growth or rewrite geography. They chose the second. Instead of asking how to build airports on land, planners asked a more radical question. What if land itself could be created? That question led China toward the sea. Offshore airports built on artificial islands were no longer science fiction. They became a strategic solution. Among all these projects, one stands out for its sheer ambition: the massive offshore airport being built in Jinzhou Bay near Dalian. When completed, this airport will be one of the largest offshore airports on Earth, spanning more than 20 square kilometers of reclaimed ocean, designed to handle up to 80 million passengers every year. To put that into perspective, that's more than many entire countries' annual air traffic. But building an airport in the ocean is unlike any construction humans had attempted before. The ocean does not behave like land. It shifts constantly. It erodes everything. It hides instability beneath the surface. The seabed of Jinzhou Bay was made of soft sediment deposited over thousands of years. Placing a runway directly on it would have caused slow sinking, cracking, and eventual failure. So engineers went deeper. Thousands of massive steel and concrete piles were driven into the seabed, some extending more than 70 meters below the surface. These piles formed the backbone of the artificial island, anchoring it to stable geological layers far below. This was not simple piling. Each column had to be positioned with centimeter-level accuracy. Any misalignment could compromise the entire structure. Once the foundation was secured, land reclamation began. Giant dredging vessels sucked sand from designated zones of the sea floor and pumped it into enclosed areas. Slowly, water was replaced by land. Layer by layer, sand was compacted, stabilized, and reinforced. This process alone took several years. But even creating land was not enough. An airport runway demands perfection. Even small irregularities can affect aircraft safety during takeoff and landing. On land, engineers fight gravity and soil conditions. In the ocean, they fight tides, seismic activity, and constant pressure changes. To solve this, China embedded thousands of sensors beneath the runway. These sensors continuously monitor pressure, vibration, temperature, and movement. Data is fed into AI-driven systems that analyze the structure in real time. If any section shifts even slightly, engineers are alerted immediately. The runway is not static. It is monitored, adjusted, and reinforced continuously. In many ways, this airport is a living system. Then there's the weather. Ocean winds behave differently than land winds. Fog forms faster. Storms intensify without warning. Typhoons strike with enormous force. The airport had to survive conditions that would destroy ordinary infrastructure. Seawalls were engineered to absorb wave energy instead of resisting it directly. Runway materials were treated to resist corrosion from saltwater. Navigation systems were upgraded to maintain precision even during extreme weather. Every design choice assumed the worst-case scenario. But this project was never just about engineering. It was about speed. China's economic model depends on moving people and goods faster than competitors. Offshore airports allow planes to approach and depart without flying over dense cities. Noise pollution drops. Safety improves. Flight paths become more efficient. The airport is directly connected to high-speed rail lines, ports, and logistics hubs. Cargo can move from ship to plane in minutes. Passengers can land and reach the city without touching congested highways. This is infrastructure designed for dominance. Yet, such ambition comes with serious controversy. Environmental scientists warn that artificial islands disrupt marine ecosystems. Ocean currents are altered. Fish migration routes change. Sediment clouds affect nearby habitats. China claims to mitigate damage by building artificial reefs and carefully managing dredging zones. Critics argue that long-term consequences are still unknown. Then there is geopolitics. An airport in the ocean is not just civilian infrastructure. It represents presence and control. Artificial islands extend influence over surrounding waters. They reshape maritime boundaries. They signal power. Supporters see progress. Critics see expansionism. And that debate is unlikely to end. But one thing is undeniable. China is building a blueprint for the future. As populations grow and coastlines become crowded, many countries will face the same question China faced. Where do you build when land is gone? Floating cities, offshore airports, artificial islands. What once sounded impossible is quietly becoming necessary. China's ocean airport is not just about aviation. It is about human expansion beyond natural limits. A future where cities do not stop at shorelines, where infrastructure adapts to water instead of avoiding it, where oceans become part of civilization itself. Today, jets descend over open water. Passengers walk on land that did not exist a generation ago. And the sea reflects the lights of a runway carved from ambition and steel. This is not just an airport. It is a declaration that limits are temporary, that engineering can rewrite geography, that the future belongs to those willing to build where others hesitate. Somewhere off China's coast, the impossible is no longer a theory. It is already taking off.